YouTube. Jimmy High Roller. Shout out to you, boy. And shout out to Flight too, man. This is a question that I have been asking myself for a very long time. Are NBA players today actually better than players of the past? I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah. The game evolves, bro. The game evolves. Players get better handles. Players get smarter. Players they become better shooters. Players become better players, man. Like skill wise, you feel me? And you got to understand, basketball was created in like what, the 1950s, 1940s. I don't know, something maybe before that. Don't like quote me on that shit. Don't get mad if I'm wrong. But I know that the NBA or whatever started around the 40s or 50s. Don't quote me on that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, you got to understand, bro, there's levels to it. Just like there's levels to like being in the NBA. You got scrubs, amateurs, above average. You got semi-pros, you got pros. It's tiers, bro. It's levels to this shit. Not saying players back in the day are trash. I'm pretty sure that the great players from back in the day would have been able to develop into being NBA players in today's age. But I'm gonna say like players now, they're definitely better. But that doesn't mean that the players back in the day couldn't develop in this era. But that's enough for the talk, man. Y'all know I love basketball, bro. Let's get into the video, man. I love basketball, man.
Now start to get a good framework of how this season
but
is playing.
I will say one more thing. The defense gets kind of ass in today's game. The defense does get kind of ass. But
any indication of what's to come, we are in the midst of the biggest talent boom in NBA history.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, the league is flooded with players who can go and get 30, 40
any night, bro. It's like so crazy, bro. Like, look at this shit, bro. Career high 17 rebounds and tennis. Like, I ain't trying to shit on Trendon Watford, but like I said in my recent video, man, these guys aren't trash. They just NBA trash, bro. They just NBA trash. Trendon Watford ain't trash. He ain't NBA trash. I actually seen him get buckets for real. It also comes down to opportunity. You know what I'm saying? If a lot of these guys get the opportunity to like actually do this shit, they could do it. But then again, you got the guys that do get the opportunity and they can't do it. They're NBA trash, bro. It's okay to be NBA trash. You are still better than the average Joe at your local rec center. So pat yourself on the back, bro. You were dominating the rec league, gang. But again, bro, we got a lot of trash NBA players that are NBA trash.
Dropping triple doubles and the super.
And then, bro, oh my God, I'm gonna tell y'all, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all.
Simultaneously shattering records. Take a look at the current MVP race, and it resembles something closer to an all-time ranking than an MVP leaderboard.
I want to say this, bro. I said this also in a recent video, and I'm gonna let the video just play. I'm not gonna pause. I seen Ant was averaging like 28, 29 points per game, right? Cool. Guess what his position was in terms of like points per game in the league? He was like 7 or 8, bro. Back in like 2010, 2011, 13, 14, whatever, bro, if you was averaging like 29, 28 points, bro, you would be the leading scorer in the NBA. You got guys averaging like 34, 35, 34 points per game now, 30 points per game. And it's like 3 or 4 different people, bro, like 4 or 5 different players. It's not a lot, but if you put that into perspective, like we said, bro, the league is changing. Players are getting better. It's showing. But then again, you got to look at the lack of like defense and the officiating too. Oh my God, the officiating is so fucking dreadful, man.
5 and 6, 35.
Like, look.
29, 12 and 11.
Oh, we like Jokic to go.
11, 33, 5 and 6, 35, 8 and 8, 29, 6 and 10, 31, 4 and 7,
31,
28, 9 and 6.
28.
Not only are all of these guys
he didn't show
MVP caliber seasons, they're all
Ant,
having
44.
historically great seasons. In fact, their numbers are so good, it has led some fans to question the very validity of
53.
stats in the NBA today.
24 free throws. Oh my God.
How good these players are, but a result of stat inflation,
Mm-hmm.
a symptom of today's faster pace and offensively favorable rules.
I still feel like today's game, you could tell like players are better, and our majority players are better than majority of the players back in the day. Not saying, again, the players back in the day can't fucking like do what these motherfuckers are doing, but you have to understand though, the game evolves. You got to understand how many players. Okay, we'll take like Kobe Bryant for instance, or shit. We'll take like a guy like. We'll take the Kobe Bryant era, bro. Obviously, Kobe Bryant didn't get to see like all of these guys. Like, well, he did get to see. Okay, like Ant, Luka. Like he's dead and gone. Well, we can't use Kobe. But let's see, who else could we use? We'll use Shaq. Okay, when Shaq came into the league, it was in the early it was in like 90 something. You know what I'm saying? Shaq saw guys like Charles Barkley and MJ and Larry Bird and all those guys. So let's fast forward to a guy like Wemby. Wemby is 7'5", 7'6". He's a center now, bro. He's seen all of these guys play. Shaq. He's seen Kobe, MJ, Charles Barkley, Magic, Bird, Kareem. Even though he's young as hell, he still gets to see those guys like play. He doesn't have to see him play a whole game. He could go see highlights. He could learn from those guys because he's young as hell. He's in this era right now. Like I said, let's take Shaq for instance. Shaq saw guys like, again, Kareem. You feel me? So it's just levels, bro. It's all about the era. The era matters. All this shit's just the game evolves, bro. It's okay.
Has created a divide among NBA fans. Are the players
way harder to score in 2015 now, bro?
Actually better than players
now.
of the past, or are they simply beneficiaries of a league?
They definitely better, bro. I'm not gonna say that they're not. They're definitely better, bro. Do y'all think some players can definitely play back in the day? Modern day players can definitely play back in the day.
100 points. This used to mean something.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Threshold that once happened infrequent enough that it was worthy of a small prize for everyone involved.
Oh, okay,
Seeing
okay.
triple digits on the scoreboard
Yeah.
was once a treat.
Oh,
warrant
yeah.
of a
Oh,
celebration,
yeah.
and the alternative
Facts.
happens far more often.
It happens. It happens every
100
fucking
points is a
game,
drop
bro.
in the bucket.
That ain't shit.
Teams are hitting triple digits in the third quarter. Games ending with scores in the 130s, 140s more often than under 100. And
But you have to understand, it comes down to officiating too,
at an
man.
unprecedented rate. So has everything else. 30 points is the new 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in on any given night, and there's a great chance you'll see someone drop 40. And it's not just scoring. The entire box score has inflated to levels we've never seen.
Nah, 40 points
to
is
rebounds and
40
assists.
points is still like an insane clip, bro. It's an insane scoring clip. 30 points, yeah, 20 points. We just gonna throw 20 points out the window. 20 points is like it's not shit for these NBA players. But 40 is still like oh shit, he dropped 40 tonight. Like when you see a motherfucker drop 40, it's like oh shit, he had 40. Damn. 30.
Even efficiency.
34. Okay, I say 34 role players. Like damn, he dropped 30. Wow.
Shai
Shit.
Gilgeous-Alexander is putting up prime Jordan numbers. Giannis is putting up prime Shaq numbers. Luka Doncic, well, no one's ever done what Luka's doing. There's a man averaging a 30-point triple-double right now.
30-point triple-double.
And it's starting to
Nasty.
feel very normal. Either the best players in the NBA today are truly
Jokic is just different, bro.
all-time
He's
great,
different.
record-breaking talents better than anything that came before them, or there has been an inflation of stats that has completely skewed how we perceive the dominance of players today and the impact they are having from night to night. Or both of these options are true.
The league has evolved, man.
The trend of bigger stat lines didn't begin overnight. It has been slowly inching up for about a decade now. The stat line of 25, 5, and 5 was at one point such a difficult stat line to average that it was achieved just 7 times throughout the entire decade of the 90s.
That's facts,
5 of
bro.
those 7 seasons
So this is
were
something
Michael
new to
Jordan.
me.
Throughout the 2000s,
Damn.
the pool of players to hit this threshold jumped to 18. By the mid-2010s, pace began
Kobe
to
Bean,
increase
baby.
around the league. Heliocentric offenses began to take
I
over.
told you, bro.
and
It's levels to this, bro. It's like it's
25, 5,
it
and 5
evolves,
stat line
bruh.
was no longer a rarity, as 30 individual seasons
evolves,
met this
bruh.
threshold. And then the 2020s began, where 25,
evolves,
5,
baby.
and 5 has become an afterthought.
Coming
Not even
afterthought, it's
noteworthy.
nothing,
We
bro.
are in the 7th season of the decade,
That's
and there
nothing.
have already been 50 individual seasons where players have averaged the once extremely rare stat line.
It
As many
evolves, man.
25, 5, and 5 seasons in the last 3 years alone, as there were in the entire 90s and 2000s combined.
It's
And
insane,
you really
bro.
don't have to go back very far to
It's
see
insane,
this
bro.
inflation play out. Back in 2011, Kevin Durant won his 2nd straight scoring title, averaging a league-leading 27.7 points per game.
27, like, bro. 20, I'm telling you, 27 points per game. If you average 27 points per game now, bro, you may not, you might be in the top 5. You might be in the top 5 for points per game. Might be in the top 5. But just look at this. If you're averaging 23 points per game, you're not in the top 10, bro. You're not in the top 10 now, bro. In today's era, you are not in the top 10.
7 players to average at least 25 a game that season. But this season, Durant's 27.7 a game would have him ranked 10th in the league in scoring.
That's what I said, bro. You're not top 10, bro. You're not top 10 if you average 23 points per game in today. You probably won't. You're not even top 15.
We aren't talking about the 80s or 90s or
You
even
may
2000s.
be in top.
This was just in the last decade. Go
I don't
back
know,
far
bro.
enough into NBA history, and fans will begin.
Look, and is averaging 28, bro. That's why I say he's number 8. That's crazy as fuck.
It was just in the last decade.
35,
Go back
32,
far enough
31,
into NBA
31.
history, and fans will begin to put an air tax on players who played in a weaker league throughout the 60s, 70s,
Man.
and some fans go as far as the 80s. But now the opposite effect is beginning to happen. Fans are now putting an air tax on today's players for playing in a league with inflated stats. Now the problem isn't simply the fact that modern players are putting up bigger numbers. It's that these bigger numbers are being used without enough context to make arguments for modern players over players of the past. As the numbers continue to get bigger, what was once seen as impressive or even historic begins to hold less and less value. In 1998, during his last season with the Bulls, Michael Jordan averaged 29 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists a night on
MJ was a
53%
fucking
true shooting.
beast.
It wasn't his most impressive season statistically, but
Man,
it was
I wish
more
I
than
coulda
enough
saw
to earn him
MJ
a scoring
hoop
title,
like
All-NBA
a
first
real
team, and a
game,
league
man, back in the
MVP.
day.
Fast forward nearly
It's
30
like now I can't watch a whole game of like Jordan play. I want it to like actually be. Because when you were a kid, bro, you get to experience that shit as a kid. That's why I love Kobe so much. Because I got to experience Kobe as a kid. I already know who the fuck this is, bro. This is Austin Reeves,
years,
by the
and
way.
there's a player with a similar
This is
stat
Austin
line
Reeves.
in the NBA today. 28, 6, and 7 a game.
It's Austin
on
Reeves, bro.
66% true shooting. Numbers that are arguably better than MVP Jordan. But this isn't Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's not Luka or Anthony Edwards. It's Austin Reeves, a second option who is currently putting up a better box score than the best player in the world less than 30 years ago. But it doesn't take a basketball savant to know Austin Reeves is not as productive, impactful, or as good as Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he wasn't
was.
as good as
And
Jordan.
yet, without
That's why I said, bro, the older players, bro, they could definitely they could play in the modern era, bro. I think they would actually thrive even more in the modern era because again, they're the blueprint. Michael Jordan was a blueprint. Magic blueprint. Bird blueprint. They were blueprints in their own perspective. Kareem blueprint. All those players were blueprints. So all these players like Austin Reeves, Bron, KD, they got it from somewhere, but they had to find it from somebody. That's what they found it
enough
from.
context,
The blueprint.
Some people could, and unfortunately some people have made this argument in favor of modern players. Stats throughout the NBA today are in fact a bit inflated compared to the past. But what exactly is causing this inflation? And are these numbers a true reflection of the impact players are making? The game today is undoubtedly faster than it was in the past.
Faster, yep.
Specifically 15, 20 years ago.
Yep,
If we
yep.
look at the average number of possessions per game over the last 3 decades, the pace of games around the league has increased drastically over the last 20
Damn.
years. From just 90 possessions a game in 2006 to
Woo.
100 possessions
100
today.
possessions?
This
Okay.
valley right here, known as the dead ball era, where games would regularly end with teams scoring under 90 points. If we want to talk about taxing an era, it's these
So,
players
all
here
of this
who
shit started
really
in
got the short end of the
2006,
stick when it comes
20
to the
years
box
ago.
score.
Okay.
They essentially played less basketball than any other era in NBA history. But faster pace
That
doesn't
era was
exactly explain the
insane,
increase in
bruh.
output that we're seeing around the league today. If we level out the pace and look at how many points teams are generating per 100 possessions, then scoring today is still way up from where it was in the past. From
yep.
1997 clear up until about 2016, teams around the league scored about 105 points per 100 possessions. Today, that number is up 10% to 116 points per
116.
100 possessions. So even
116,
considering
yeah.
the pace of play,
100.
teams today are scoring the ball and generating more offense than they ever have. If we look at some of the absurd numbers from top
I think the faster pace, yeah, the faster pace shit does matter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, rebound, get the ball out quick, bro. That's why I love Jokic so much, man. Like Luka too. Luka knows how to push the pace. Cade knows how to push the Giannis. All these guys know how to push the pace and get the offense going where they don't have to set up. They don't let the defense set up, bro. That's all. That's why I love basketball, bro. That's another reason. Fast break points, bro, are like the best points to have. Don't let the defense set up. Get the defense off balance. That's what a fast break is all about, bro. You want to catch the defense lacking. You want to get them off balance, bro. That's what this shit is all about.
And adjust their numbers to a more modest pace, like what we used to see in the 2000s and early 2010s. Well, then their numbers come down a bit, but they're still absurd. Shea and Maxey are still averaging 30. Luka is still averaging 32, 8, and 8. And Jokic still has a 30-point triple-double.
30-point triple-double, man.
To just explain all of this away with pace, the speed at which games are played today is not as big of a factor as it is said to be. So what exactly are the other factors? The league has very slowly, very deliberately nudged teams and players in the direction of more offense for the past few decades. Look back through the history of rule changes, and there's a very clear pattern. In the 80s, the NBA
Jordan
added
rules.
The three-point line.
Okay, so yeah, see, all of this shit, bro, all of the changes, bro, it's only going to change. It affects the players, it affects the league, it affects everything, bro. Like the 3-point line, when they brought the 3-point line, okay, now players are like, well, I gotta become a better shooter. I gotta know how to shoot the 3-point line. I gotta learn how to shoot the 3-point line because it's something new. It's 3 points. You know what I'm saying? And as the game evolves, players work on that shit a lot more. They work on the 3 a lot more, bro. And also bringing in the 3-point line made more points. You feel me? Like
crack down on hand checking and
crack down on hand checking
to attempt to speed up the game. In the early 2000s, they added defensive 3 seconds, cut the time to cross half court.
They made a lot of changes
virtually altogether. And implemented.
Okay, they brought the defensive 3 seconds rule in 2002. I actually thought that rule had already been. I thought that was already a rule in the NBA.
That essentially outlawed all the bumping and rerouting that used to happen on every possession.
Okay, so it used to be 10 seconds and it dropped down to 8. So around 2002, 2004, I wasn't watching NBA. I was watching the 2009. I'll say that.
Dribbling rules was heavily loosened. Players could now get away with a lot more with the ball in their hands, and the creativity and depth of skill set began to explode. The NBA has always been a fast-paced run-and-gun league, and anytime it began to slow down, the league manufactured ways to speed it back up, even going as far as changing the very landscape of the court.
They changed the 3-point line.
They shortened it. They typically wouldn't.
Okay, yeah, they made it bigger.
Today,
well, made it a little
to get away
longer.
With movements and exploits that are very explicitly prohibited, or at least they're supposed to be. In reality, the NBA has always
That's an
wanted
offensive
more offense,
foul.
and so it should be no surprise that players are producing more offense. Another often cited reason for the explosion of production in the NBA today is the prevalence of heliocentric basketball, the concept of an offensive system built around one player. In the NBA today, superstars around the league get more touches than ever. They get to make more decisions than ever, and as a result, their numbers get an inherent boost due to their highly ball-dominant style of play. Put the ball in the hands of your best player, regardless
let him
of
work.
circumstance or situation. And although this play style is slowly dying out with teams like the Thunder, Celtics, and Spurs bringing back team-oriented ball, the stars of the league are still perceived as beneficiaries of this
you gotta have your. It has to be a star on the team, though, bro.
Is the definition of a power forward, and yet he regularly brings the ball up the court. He's averaging 6 assists a night, assist numbers that were almost unheard of from a rim-running big man in past eras, and a testament to his elite playmaking ability. But these assists aren't coming off of in-and-out reads or remarkable passing. They are coming.
It comes off of him just being aggressive.
Diving downhill,
that's it.
Defenses and
just being aggressive, bro.
Shooters. Compared to players of a similar skill set in the past, Giannis has the benefit of simply having the ball more and having the opportunity to initiate the offense. Nikola Jokic is a center, and yet he has the green light to be the Nuggets' point guard whenever he
point
sees
center,
fit.
man.
Luka Doncic has so much freedom on offense, the league doesn't even know what position he plays.
I was about to say, who was the best shooting guard in the NBA? Why the fuck is Luka? And they got Shea too. I can see.
The league doesn't even know what position he plays. On
Who's
any
the best
possession, the play may very well begin and end with him. Ultimately, he gets to decide how and where he's utilized whenever he's on the court.
And that's why he can't play
Players
fucking
today
defense,
simply have
man.
more freedom to indulge in their abilities.
He a
and
fucking cone on
capitalize their
defense,
skill
dog. He a
sets.
rock.
And this extra freedom
Literally.
has created better opportunities for these stars on offense. If we look at the usage of the top 20 players in the league season by season over the last 30 years, the growth of offensive burden for these stars lines up with the growth in their box score. usage crept up from the 90s to the 2000s as MJ's departure from the league brought on a new era of hero ball.
Hero ball.
Usage then plateaued for a bit
Super
with the
team era
introduction of the Super
begins.
Team era, and then immediately jumped again as heliocentric offenses became a common strategy around the league. And it continues to climb to this day. More touches, more shots, more opportunities, bigger numbers. And although this may explain the increase in numbers for the stars, even the players who aren't benefiting from this style of offense, bench guys, role players, their numbers have also climbed to unprecedented levels, which means there's still one factor unaccounted for. And it is the one variable that sets today's players apart from any other era in NBA history: efficiency. Aside from just the pace of play and the change in play style, the biggest reason why scoring and overall output has increased is because
that was a nice pass, I'm not gonna lie.
increased. Across the board, shooting percentage has jumped considerably and consistently
League
over the
average,
last 3
league
decades.
Average.
From field goal percentage
to true shooting, the free throw,
to even the most objective measure of shooting accuracy.
Yeah,
free throw percentage.
A lot of I see a lot of players going to the line, bro. Specifically, Shea and Luka Doncic. But though, Luka, I'm not gonna lie, Luka complained too fucking much, bro. A lot of these players, they bitch and complain a lot, bro. Like, that's the one thing I really don't like about this league. Again, the referees, they do miss a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? They do miss a lot of calls, and I be feeling the players, but it's like, sometimes when shit happens and the ref doesn't give them a call or a whistle, like, bro, just play ball, my nigga. Like, bro, play. That shit irritates me so much, bro. Like, bro, just hoop, man. You can't beat the refs. You can take the refs out of the game by, like, doing what you're supposed to do, bro. Playing ball, you feel me? Do what you do, bro. But, dog, like, you're not going to change the ref mind. Once he blow the whistle, you know what I'm saying? That's majority of the time, that's it. But, you know.
Same number of scoring opportunities, players today are capitalizing on those opportunities far more often. So not only has the pace of the game increased, at the same time, players and teams have become more accurate shooters and scorers. For many years, the gold standard for efficient volume scoring was
Hakeem,
60%
the dream.
true shooting. If you could average 20 a game on this kind of efficiency, you were as lethal as it gets in
Lethal,
the NBA.
facts.
In fact, there have been many seasons where not a single player in the league hit this threshold. That,
For real?
however, is not the case today. As this season, there are 27 volume scorers who have a true shooting percentage of at least 60%. Part of this is because there are simply more players averaging 20 a game, but the underlying theme persists.
That is insane,
Over time,
bro.
players have gotten extremely good at putting the ball in the hoop, not just in terms of volume, but in accuracy. The real question then becomes, why are players more efficient today than they were in the past? And the answer, again, isn't as simple as it seems. Part of the reason why players today are more efficient at scoring the ball is because they are, in fact, more skilled. Players and teams around the league have taken what works from those that came before them, tweaked the formula, and improved on their methods.
That's really what I just said. I get so tired, like, people, bro, some people know, they know what's up. But some people are so dumbfounded and so fucking slow, bro, that they have no fucking clue what they talking about, bro. That's all it is, bro. It's literally, it's just, the game evolves. It's just evolving, bro. That's really it. It's the game is evolving. All these players are doing, watching the greats that came before them, doing those moves and just adding a little bit of flair, a little bit of spice to it, while also learning other shit as well. That's all it takes. That's all it is, bro. But a lot of these players, bro, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these players really don't take this basketball shit serious, bro. They rather just get all the money.
Shooting has become a larger part of emphasis.
They just care about the money.
Today, modern players have spent more time and effort getting good at that part of the game.
And you gotta understand, these trainers, these coaches, they have like resources that these players can use. But these basketball players now, bro, they can literally go to damn near any coach in the world, the best coaches in the world, and work with them. All it takes is that bread. They millionaires, bro. That's why I don't understand like how most of these players in the NBA, they can't shoot a fucking jump shot. They can't even shoot a floater, but they don't even want to shoot a floater, bro. Like, bro, all you have to do, you got the money, bro. just get in contact with somebody that can help you with your jump shot, or a little floater or something, bro. Or get in the fucking gym yourself,
also
man.
Understand and exploit certain advantages more now than they have before. One simple but revolutionary shift teams made was their emphasis on three-pointers. Get good enough at them and you can score more points faster than before with greater efficiency by leveraging the statistical advantage of the three-pointer. This shift didn't just change the points on the board, it changed the very geometry of the game and what skill sets are valuable. Not only are players
and
better,
you got more space on the floor too, bro.
now, but smarter, more complex offenses now set players up for better, more open looks. Thanks to tracking data and advanced metrics, organizations around the league can now pinpoint exactly where the best shots are and how to get those shots more often. If someone had convinced KG to just take one step back on all of his long twos, his numbers would probably have looked a lot better, and his
that's the same. That's how I feel about DeMar DeRozan, man. He's a forward and he shoots the longest 2-pointers I've ever seen, bro. You might as well just shoot the three, man.
As teams got smarter, shot selection
nobody's gonna say shit to you.
Over the shot diet of
but he's
league,
a fucking mid-range god almost.
But they got significantly more efficient. Pair this better understanding of where the advantages lie with about 10 extra possessions a game, and you've got a recipe for larger scoring numbers both for teams and individual players. As Bill Simmons once said, the math of the game changed to favor the box score. Some would call this evolution. Others may call it optimization. Take what works, double down on it, get rid of what doesn't work. 20 years ago, the Phoenix Suns were reinventing offense under Mike D'Antoni and breaking records with their volume and pace. First in the league in points per game, three-point attempt rate, three-point percentage, true shooting percentage.
And that was all because of Steve Nash, bro, running that break.
They were far and away the best offensive team.
Yeah, Sean Marion, Amari Stoudemire.
To today's standards, the 06 Phoenix Suns were sluggish, inefficient. Look at a shot map from that 06 Suns team.
I'm not gonna lie, like real shit, if that 06 Suns team was in the league right now, they would get fucking fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
You can see exactly how teams approached offense in an era that featured the lowest point totals.
They would get fucked up. Not saying they wouldn't win games, but they would get fucked up.
Near the rim and from beyond three, the Suns attempted the majority of their shots in here, somewhere in between. From beyond the three-point line, they scored 1.2 points per shot, the best three-point shooting team in the NBA. From within 6 feet, they scored 1.25 points per shot, and everywhere else, they scored just 0.85 points per shot. Now, why did the Suns shoot so many shots from areas on the court where they were least efficient? Well, at the time, they weren't. That season, the Phoenix Suns shot more threes than any team in NBA history. They thought they were shooting a lot of high percentage shots. Fast forward 20 years, and we now know you can take this concept a whole lot further. Compare the 06 Suns to the best offense in the league today, the Denver Nuggets, and you'll see not just how the game has changed, but the effects of those changes.
The Denver Nuggets got the best offense in the league today, 125 points.
2006, the Suns scored 106.4 points per game. This season, the Nuggets score 125 points per game. But I want you to take notice of a few different metrics here, like pace. The Suns had a pace of 95.8 possessions per game, which isn't too far off from this year's Nuggets with 98.9 possessions per game. Even when you adjust these teams to the same exact pace, the Nuggets are scoring 125.9 points per 100 possessions to the Suns' 111.5, despite having the same exact efficiency, both near the rim and from outside. So where are all of these extra points coming from? Well, from near the rim and outside. After further investigation, the league realized that these shots here in between are just not worth the hassle. They literally aren't worth as much as other shots. In 2006, the Suns, a revolutionary offense, shot 40% of their shots from this in-between area. This year, the Nuggets only shoot 19% of their shots from this area.
Damn.
The NBA has game theoried its way to the most productive, most efficient version of basketball. Steve Nash was one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, shot nearly 45% from three for nearly a decade.
He was nasty,
and
bro.
yet he only attempted 3 to 4 three-pointers a
Yeah,
game.
he didn't shoot that many threes.
Well, because they just didn't know any better.
We played.
He shot him, but he wasn't like a three-point chucking point guard.
But really, we should have doubled down. And Mike said this before. We should have played faster. We should have played smaller. We should have shot way more threes. we were just playing a style that suited
You
our
shoot yourself
roster,
out the
suited our
game. I'm not
personnel.
gonna lie. You can shoot yourself out of the game with all them fucking threes, bro. I'm not gonna
It was
lie.
foreshadowing for the future. I think I was too conservative shooting the ball. Like, I should have walked into way more threes. I should have looked for more threes. But I didn't come out like guns blazing, try to,
He's a point
get 20
guard,
in the
bro.
first half, because I didn't think that would do my team any favors. Now we know numerically it just makes way too much sense and not enough sense. And the game wasn't ready for that.
Right.
We didn't value the analytics. We probably weren't even.
That's not Steve Nash's game though, to just chuck threes and shit. Steve Nash is a true point guard. Now, if you got a guy like Steph is just a shooter, bro. I wouldn't consider Steph a point guard. But he has point guard. You could still put him at the point guard position because of his size. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? He can handle the ball too. He can pass. Like, not saying Curry can't pass, but two different play styles. Curry's a great best 3-point shooter of all time, we know. But like Steve Nash, his game, he was a point guard. He was like a true point guard that could still shoot the three. So
analyzing things.
I don't know. That's just two different.
We are now, or even.
I'm glad he
2-3
didn't
years
just was a
after
3-point chucking motherfucker
More
though.
than skill, more than personnel, more than pace, how teams are approaching offense and the extent to which they understand the value of each shot and how to get those shots.
It's like now,
is
soon
by
as
far
they
the
touch the
largest
ball,
contributor
man,
to
it's
the
gone.
inflation of numbers we see today. Not only have players leveraged the knowledge and skills of those that came before them to become better players, teams around the league have leveraged the data and systems of teams that came before them to create offenses tailor-made for these new, improved players. The evolution of the NBA isn't necessarily in the talent itself, it's how the talent is utilized. Nikola Jokic is a generational player. And he also plays in a system that allows him to maximize all of his abilities. Steph Curry
You gotta
is
play
the
around him,
greatest
bro.
shooter ever. But he also plays in an era that allowed him to reach his potential. Luka Doncic is one of the most versatile offensive engines the game has ever seen. And he also plays in a league that allows him to be a point guard, or a shooting guard, or a small forward on any given possession.
I don't know about small forward, but he got the size though.
Putting up prime Michael Jordan numbers. He really is that good. But he also plays in the smartest, most efficient, cerebral era in the NBA's history, primed for the next Michael Jordan. Are the numbers we see in the NBA today a symptom of stat inflation, or have the players simply gotten better?
They got better, bro.
It's both. The math
Yeah,
has
it's
changed
both
the
for
game,
sure, but
the players have changed
they
too.
get evolved, bro. It's evolution, man. They're evolving. It's nothing wrong with that, man. People, they just getting better, bro. That's it. But that's it for the fucking video. Great video, man. Jimmy always bringing some fucking bangers. Again, shout out to Jimmy High Roller, and again, shout out to Flight. I love to give my flowers to them boys, man. But yeah, though, man, that's it. That's the end of the video. A great video. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really got much to say, man. We out.